This is a video on midterm project 3 for the Apex Sports script files IT new, ST alias, and ST where. Then when they're done, put them into master all. And there's some gotchas in here you've already started, and this video is to get you past some obstacles that I will be pointing out, assuming that you already tried your hand at this. Some people finished without any help, but this is a help video for those who are in an obstacle. Okay, you know that we are to have a new script file that we can use our IT base from last week's part of the project, MidProj3, Sports IT base. Now it's going to be called Sports IT new. So we're starting off with this inside of IT new. And here's, by the way, our data model quickly. We're going to be inserting rows into the various tables, but you need to know parents have to be populated before children, because with referential integrity, we need to realize that tables that are related have the instances related to certain instances. So one instance up here could be related to many instances down here, and that would happen by the values of the common attributes. In this case, ID, known as ILT ID down here. See the foreign key? So the value here has to match the value there, and we would propagate that further. So if we populate this first, then we could populate price history. But this couldn't be populated until its parent was populated, and its parent was populated. So if we populated from the parent down to children, we'd go top down. We could start with inventory list, then start with items, then start with price history. We could start with another major parent. Here's a major parent. It's the parent of sales rep addresses and itself. So we could do that next. 4, and then this could be our 5th table we populate. We might do teams next. That's 6. We could populate 7 of the 10 tables, and 8, because it would be populated, so we could go to this child. This is populated, so we could go to this child. Orders, and then lastly, we could finally do ordered items, because we already did the items side first, then we did the other major parents like teams and sales reps, then customers, and then down to what orders they have to what items. So that would be the approach you'd want to take there in order to get this IT new to work. So if we went over into Apex, let me show you. Here's a script, my IT new, and I've ran it a couple times, and here's a big gotcha that I want to show you. First of all, by the way, if you have these filters, you won't see any data, so you unfilter these, and notice if I unfilter that, I'll get something taken back from history and blah, blah, blah. So, okay, so here's my IT new. Here's another IT new that I ran before that, 5 hours before that one. So let's look at the results on this one, and you'll see when I get into here that these all took correctly. And if I go down to the very bottom, you'll see that I populated more than what I'm asking you, but I've got 62 here populated, so it all went fine. So if I go back up here and go back up to SQL scripts, and now I'm back to looking at IT new again, so I'll restart this, showing you that we need to unfilter here. And this time I'll show you, if I were to have run this again, here's the big gotcha. It won't run a second time. And the reason it won't run is because it ran before, and all those rows are there. We have 62 rows there already. So if I look at these results, you'll see I will get an error message such as this. A unique constraint, because primary keys are unique, and it shows you for this one where I'm trying to repopulate the inventory list item IL Ian 111111. It violates the fact that it's there already, so none of these will work, and everyone will get these violated. error messages, all 62 of them. So if I went down to the very bottom, you'll see that none of them were successful. That's to be expected, and I was hopeful that you would troubleshoot that. The way to do it would be to either delete all those rows, but don't do that. We already have IT base that we could run again. Excuse me, master base from last time. We could establish our baseline again. So we could rerun master base. And if we did that, all the 10 tables would be dropped, correct? All the 10 tables would be dropped, and then we could run them again. So if I was to rerun the master base, that would, in fact, let me show you with here's the master all file that I will ultimately create. But remember what the master all is. It takes master base that we had from last week, where we had the 10 tables being dropped. And here's the gotcha. That'll take away even the new ones we just created, the new rows that we just put in there. In my case, I put 62 rows there. So we drop all the tables. Of course, they have to be recreated, but that's what's in that master baseline script from last time we did it. There's all the inserts that was supplied to us, and now I come in with all my new stuff. Here's my IT new. So if I go to where I do my IT new, by the way, I should have said that this is after the fact, isn't it? Well, before I added those, what we're looking at right now, and I commented out the selects from last time, from here on up, this was the master base file that you're looking at here, master all, because after this I did put my solution. So if they ran master base, all of the baseline inserts would be there. And now, of course, we could then rerun this IT new with all the inserts that I have, IT new. And so here we have it. So now that I want to show you another gotcha with the IT new. I'm looking at the bottom, and I can see that here's in the ordered items, the very last child. Of course, all the parents have to be there. So this particular order, I got it. This value is OREN04BB, and in that order, I'm buying 2 items. You can see I'm buying item EN111BB and IM EN222BB. Anyway, if we went up there, what's good with Notepad is if I want to see where that order was, oh, there's the order. So I can see that, yep, there's the order where it was created. That was the parent from before. So here we have, before I can do ordered, this guy has to live. Of course, customers had to live. The associated row when I say live. So whatever customer number value was in a particular order, that customer had to be up here as an instance, as a row. So if I'm adding ordered items, like I just told you, in order to add something here, this row has to live up here, the order, and the item that's being ordered has to live here. So that's the trick. That's the major trick, and I hope everyone can understand that. And if I quickly showed you that they have to be related. So if I quickly showed you this item, having selected that, notice there's other items that are being of the same value that's bought by different customers and different orders of the same customer maybe. But way up here, back in the items, there it is to begin with. That had to exist first. Okay, no? And so that's the big gotcha there. Now, lastly, the aliases. I'll give you an example of an alias. This would have been probably better if I just said quantity shipped, because this is going to be a very narrow column, but when it's reported, it would be as wide as the heading. So I'd rather make those headings smaller then larger, unless there was a long item, like order ID is kind of long, so I'll go ahead and spell out order ID and in quotes because there's a space here. So you don't have to have the quotes if there's no space or special character. Okay, by the way, another major item is if there's a keyword there, the attribute itself has to be in quotes. That might be a gotcha as well. And so here is the last gotcha. Here I want to say that this is where in the ST-where you want to get all your rows back that you had inserted. So if I know that I inserted a bunch of ordered items, and instead of getting back from the baseline that was supplied to us, all the new stuff was based on my item numbers being these 4 item numbers. And at least in my 62 rows across them all, I added 4 new items, and these are all the numbers. So of course, all these items, if this item belonged to many different orders, then I would get all those ordered items that had this item number. Also, one more thing, another gotcha, some people would put and there instead of or, thinking that, well, I want all ordered items that have item number this and item number this, but since it's the same attribute, the where clause works like this. It looks at the first row and asks, is the item number equal to this? If it isn't equal to that, then it bypasses. It looks to see if it's like that. If it isn't, it bypasses. Or this, or this, or this. But if you look at one row and you looked at item number, how could one row be equal to this and also be equal to this at the same time for that one row? So that's why this is an or instead of an and. Okay, those are all the gotchas, and I hope that helps.